Good morning and good afternoon, boomers that are catching this on the replay. It's the voice of the blockchain here, Satoshi's big cousin, cryptography's finest champagne crypto. Thanks for tuning in. Big shout out to Jojo, Lady Plants, and the rest of the crypto maniac savages deep there in the foxholes of the blockchain battlefield trenches. Big shout out to you. Today we're going to be talking about the length of quarantine that we may be facing. I came across an article with some projections I wanted to share with you guys. I even have some graphs. I want to talk about immunity certifications. You may not have heard about that yet, but it's coming soon. Perhaps, probably. We'll be talking about stocks are kapumping, Bitcoin kapumping, and more. Shout out to Lady Plant. Shout out to Jojo Wave. Guys, make sure that you're touching the buttons, the like, the subscribe, the post notification bell, the ding ding. Stay tuned in to the good words that we speak here daily. It's not just crypto words. It's all kinds of goodness. Make sure you caress those buttons for me. We'll be talking about this length of quarantine. You know, the mainstream narrative here is that they're trying to stop the spread till, I think, the first of the month, basically. That may go longer. We'll talk about that. We'll be talking about these immunity certifications. They're throwing around the idea. I think they've implemented them in certain countries. I think France. We'll talk about that. Basically, you got to have paperwork to step back outside, and it may get even more intricate than that. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about the stocks. They keep kapumping today. Last time I looked, they were up, and you know that is positively correlated to the bits, to the BTCs. More bits, and more kabooms. And you know how it is, guys. The price of Bitcoin is up today, and that's good. There's a direct correlation, and we'll be talking about that. Kaboom, I prayed for you and your family to be safe, says Satoshi. Thank you so much. Likewise, I need to do the same. Thank you so much, Nakamoto. I appreciate that. I think I had it already in February, honestly, but I am not giving them my blood for exploration, says Lady Plants. Right, I mean, you know, listen, the symptoms are so broad, and, you know, there's all kinds of if, ands, buts, maybes, and you don't know, and I'm with you. I'm not trying to give out the blood for free either. Shout out to a Dolphin 134. Kaboom to you as well. Always nice to see you in the box. Let's go ahead and share this screen. Let's look at the price of Bitcoin first, because it's champagne crypto, guys. At the end of the day, it's the Crip Walkers out here. 71.13. I told you, you know, somewhere around last week, I started to get a little more bullish as we approach this halvening, and as we see the stocks hold up. And you know, it's all manufactured, it's all fake, it's all funny, fugazi, funny bunny. But as long as they keep firing bazookas and throwing free money around, like if it's the Connect conference, you know, I see the cash coming from the ceiling. As long as that keeps going, then it's good for Bitcoin. You know, if that should change, we'll keep an eye out on the markets. But so far, so good. 71.13. You know, I'm expecting, you know, things to go up to maybe even 8, if we're lucky, to 9 as we approach this happening very soon. That's what I'm expecting. You know, again, it's my opinion. I could be right, I could be wrong. At the same time, we can get hit by you know, on the left flank by an attack here by the enemy, and we could be back at 45. You know how it goes out here. You got to be prepared for anything. Always have some dry powder, one in the chamber just in case. And always have your storm supplies ready. You never know. You can always, like I said, get attacked on the left flank by the enemy, and you got to be prepared for that. But today it's green. It's grass-fed. It's organic, and I'm enjoying it. So it's a 71.09, and so far so good, guys. How I said, you know, as we approach this halvening and whatever pump that we see, you know, I may be readjusting the portfolio. I may be taking some profits as we approach this halvening on the pump, as we get closer to maybe an 8 or a 9. That's me personally. You know, I've been on some baggage there for a little bit, and I think it's, you know, I've said this even before the Rona hit, that I may take some profits, readjust the portfolio. But again, I'm still long-term bullish on the bits. And, you know, I'll be holding more than most would expect. Hey, champ, I got to switch phones. I got to kill some rats at work. My name is Joey Ray. See you on the other side. Okay, there you go. Shout out to Joey Ray. Bless up. Champ Kaboom, I'm here so you know who's the real Satoshi. Okay, I got it. I see you switch the accounts. I see you out there, Joey. He says, kill some rats. Maybe you're an exterminator. essential services out there, keeping everything clean and rodent free. I think I had it we already read that. Guys, drop a comment here. Let me know what's shaking and baking. Make sure that you're following me on dlive.tv/champagne crypto over here. Shout out to everybody. CryptoZilla just threw me an ice cream. Shout out to Zilla. We will be redistributing some lemons at the end of the broadcast. So let me go ahead and let me drop a couple of ducats here in the bucket. I'm going to add 50 lemons to the treasure chest. Guys, follow me. I have the links down below for all that. 7102 on Bitcoin. Let's look at the market summary here and see what's directly impacting the market. You see the S&P bumping today. It's up almost 5%, another gainer. Okay, the Dow's up almost 5%, another gainer. And I told you, as long as we see greenery out in the fields with these legacy market, it's gonna be positive for Bitcoin. Okay, so good days. It's crazy, guys. Look at it. The economy is at a standstill. I mean, there is no velocity of any sort of cash flow right now, and the markets are up. I mean, if this is not the funniest of all the bunnies, I don't know what to say, guys. Shout out to my snipers out there. Crude oil is getting slammed out there. You know how it goes. There's a little bit of hype. There's a little bit of an injection, a little pump, a little fake out. It pumps and then it dumps. So, I could expect the same thing to happen to the S&P. It may be up 5, 6 today, and then, later on this week, it may take a dump. So keep your eyes open. All this is manufactured. Unless they keep throwing this fake funny bunny cash out on the markets, I don't see how it's going to continue to float. So it is what it is. We already basically established that, guys. Who else is buying other than, the people with the fake money printers? The bonds are up today, 9%. I told you guys, as long as, the 10-year, when the 10-year yield responds well, that's good for the stock market and not vice versa, but they're somewhat correlated. And this is going back up to 0.65, still weak. After touching down, 0.5 and change, this thing needs to get closer to 1. Again, you can see Carnival pumping today. People, most YouTubers and laymen are saying, "Oh, I'm going to get into the airlines and the cruises, and they're going to go back up." And listen, it's up 17 today, and if you got into any cruises stocks and you're up 17%, over the weekend, I would take the cash and run. Me personally. I'm not trying to hodl these industries, if you ask me. I think it's going to be a while before we actually see the cruise line industry rebound and actually start making money again. Okay, right now it's all speculation. And then you got the cryptos in the green as well. As we approach this Bitcoin halving. Right now, it is the event that is driving the Bitcoin price, in my opinion. It's that main event. If it wasn't for this Rona, we would probably be, above 10K, maybe, Before the Rona hit, we were sitting nice around 9,000. So it is what it is, guys. We can say coulda, shoulda, woulda, but it is what it is. Let's go ahead and there's a lot to talk about today. How long is this Rona lockdown going to last? They started out with saying it's 15 days to stop the spread. Then 15 days later, they hit you up with 30 days more. And, I wouldn't be surprised, guys, okay, if this thing goes longer than the month of April and into May. Perhaps the majority of all of May. If you can compare it to what happened in China, they had a lockdown Wuhan for I don't know how many months before they started slowing the curve down, flattening the curve. Is there really a curve, though? So think about that. Is there even? That's like a double entendre. Is there even really a curve? This guy works on the data on the Rona. It's sobering to see it grow. Watch it later if you want, says CryptoZilla over there on DLive, sharing some linkage. Thank you. Joey Ray says he agrees. Isn't peak for 45 days, 45 up, 45 down. Now listen, the word quarantine, it hit me the other day. I was talking to my mom. And she said quarantine. That comes from the the word cuatro or cuarenta, and quarantine. That's 40. So she's like, when they're talking about 2 weeks, I already know it was at least 30 or 40. And it's true. If you look at, I don't know if it's true, but I'm sure it is. I mean, I wouldn't see why she's lying. The root of the word cuatro or cuarenta, quarantine, you see that there's a 4 and a 40, insinuate or not, or in the root of that word. I don't know how to explain it, or you see what I mean. Quarantine 440. And, we may be locked down for 40 days. Now, you got Joey Ray saying 45 up, 45 down. So that seems to kind of coincide with what we're saying here. It's about 40 days. And that would put us into mid-May out there. So, something to consider. Corona is an excuse to take over the world. That's what a lot of people are saying. There's a lot of things moving. There's a lot of moving parts here. And this will be talked about for generations to come. I see a business idea advertising on face masks, says Cash Couch. I've seen that already happening. There's a lot of people out there already hopped on that. Let's go ahead and let's talk about how long this thing may be floating around. How long will be locked down? I'm saying maybe 40 days with the quarantine or whatnot. Let's talk about this. When will the coronavirus lockdown be lifted? Here are one bank's estimates. So you got the bank out here trying to do some projections based on the data from China and other countries, and how long it took for their curve to flatten. Come on, guys. You can't even. Wow. Anyhow, let me go ahead and share this in the population of the chat box so you guys could follow along. This is via Zero Hedge. Tyler Durden himself. Shout out to Fight Club. This is a long one. I'm not going to read the entire article because it's lengthy, but it gets into details and some supporting evidence as to how long this lockdown may take. It compares Hubei, or I'm sorry, it says Hubei or Hubei, I don't know, the Wuhan province, Italy, UK, Spain, France, Germany, and of course the US. It shows, the 3-day growth in fatalities. It shows, fatality growth in each country specifically and more. Then they show this other figure here. The initial lifting of restriction is likely to fall within a range, right? And then they're showing this range here, according to the data that they've pulled, and you could see that the range for the U.S. is somewhere around. If you base it on what happened in Wuhan, it would be about 30 to 50 day lockdown. Somewhere around there with about a 40. Basically what I'm saying. So look at this figure here. I got it. Is it being shown on the screen right now? Yeah, it is. Okay, so there it is. Shout out to Rafterman. I see you out there. So look at this other figure here, this other chart. Potential dates for the initial lifting of restrictions. The end of announced lockdown right now in the U.S. is obviously April 30th. In Italy, it's the 12th of April. In Italy, they're arguably a little bit more ahead of us in the development of this thing, or the progression of this thing. UK say they're going to be locked down until the 12th, Spain until the 11th, France the 15th, and Germany the 19th. What's very interesting here is that the US has the lockdown extended longer than most of these other countries. So that's something to consider. Now, here's the estimated date that the restrictions will start to be lifted based on the Hubei experience. I don't know how to pronounce that, Hubei, or I know it's the province where Wuhan is, the area from China. So let's just call it the Wuhan area. The estimated date that restrictions will start to be lifted based on the Chinese experience. And they're projecting the 22nd of May for the U.S., the 7th of May for Italy, the 23rd of May for UK, 18th of May for Spain, France 18th, and 22nd of May for Germany. Now, there's even further projections, estimated date of containment based on the 2003 SARS experience, and this can take the U.S. lockdown till even June 19th, they're saying. So basically that, somewhere towards the end of June. So, something to keep an eye on. Obviously, this is one bank's projections. I'm not saying it's, true or not, but this is the numbers that are being thrown out. And again, this quarantine thing should be about 40 days. So, do the math. That would put us into May. And I remember in one of the Rona task force hearings a couple weeks ago, where, they do them every day. Trump said something about like even August. He even referred to, we may be experiencing things in August. He referred to it very in passing, but it's something that you got to consider, and it is what it is. Japan refuses to do a lockdown and only strongly suggests things. It echoes back to when the military took over the country back pre-World War II. Yeah, it's out of control. What's very interesting, guys, is look how many countries are behaving about the same way. You think that we're against China, China is against us, but if you can see, everybody's behaving about the same way. So it seems to be like a coordinated worldwide global effort here. So Cryptozilla says, so the people refuse to give up liberties ever again, even for a virus, but the majority will follow guidelines. Yeah, and that's because, Japan has gone through things that arguably, the U.S. hasn't, It's crazy. It's crazy, guys. How easy are people just giving up things without even asking any questions. Let me continue with this article because it gets a little darker, okay? It gets a little darker, but it's something that we got to bring up as we're going to talk about these immunity certifications and what may happen, in this new world, because things are not going to go back to the way they were, guys. Newsflash, okay? We're already deep in the world order, and what's coming soon to a theater near you is, ultimately RFID chips or some way to track you directly. So check out what this article ends with, all right? Let me highlight this. In short, reopening of the economy would likely entail the introduction of a smartphone-based bio passport, where any person who wishes to re-enter society will have to not only undergo some form of daily testing to confirm they are virus-free, but also effectively hand over most, if not all, privacy to the government. Needless to say, the long-term sociological consequences of such a collectivization of private information will be unlike anything seen in recent history. Okay, that's just one. It keeps going. Here's another article here now. They're talking about immunity certs. I haven't even read this one, but check out the headline. Immunity certificates are coming. COVID survivors to get a special passport enabling return to normalcy. Even more prophetically, billionaire hedge fund manager Bill Ackman tweeted about his optimism and need for, hydrochloric and antibiotics appear to help. Okay, check it out. This is what this hedge fund manager that made like $1 billion shorting the market this last month or something similar said. One could imagine a world in the next few months where everyone is tested and all but the immune compromised go back to a socially distanced but normal life. Okay, so immunity certificates. And let's look at what the UK Health Secretary is saying. We're looking at immunity certs, how people who have had the disease have got the antibodies and therefore have immunity can show that and so get back as much as possible to normal life. This is out of control, guys. This is out of control. And for all you guys out there that would ridicule conspiracy theorists and people that would question things, the joke's on you guys, because now they're about to roll it all out. And, we're one step away from them just straight up injecting you with a chip. For now, in the short term, it's going to be on your phone, but it's all here. Let me link this. I'm not going to read you the whole entire thing, but this is what's being talked about already, and it's happening fast, guys. Jigger Rome says, "I need a bootleg COVID cert." Lady Plant says the word teen means something. Yeah, you should try that out because it would be quarantine, so it would be like 40 times or 40 times maybe. I don't know. Day and Night says looks like I'll be getting the chip. I don't see what's going to happen. I was also hearing about maybe they got this other thing. It's kind of like a tattoo that lasts for 5 years, and that they can also vaccine you and tattoo you with basically it's kind of like a QR code, and it's like think of it as like an invisible tattoo, maybe one that's only like could be seen in a black light or something, and they just stamp you real quick with it, and it's like a QR code, and they can also administer a vaccine. That's what I've been hearing about. I wish I could pull that one up because I saw that one. But yeah, there's all kinds of ideas being thrown out there. And, they told us back in the 90s they wanted to chip everybody, and people were saying that you were crazy. Mark of the Beast, says Joey Ray. That's what people are saying. Okay, let's keep going here. Let's talk about how this thing will relate to digital currencies out here. COVID-19 is being used to scare you away from using cash. Cash has been the target of the banking and financial elites for years now because it's fungible and it's private. For everybody, knocking cash, it is what it is, guys. Now the coronavirus pandemic is being used to frighten the masses into accepting a cashless society. That would mean the death of what's left in our free society. The war on cash is about imposing a new meta narrative. Okay, they're saying basically it's germs can loiter all over credit cards and debit cards, smartphones, ATM, and other cash alternative devices. Too bad implanted microchip technology isn't further along than banksters might be thinking. I'm telling you. In another article, readers are practically shamed for withdrawing cash to save during a crisis. Every sentence, every word, every letter of this article is nuts. It begins by reassuring the reader that their bank account is insured by the... I showed this video, actually, and more. Prior to the end of World War, there were $500, $1,000, and $10,000 bills in wide circulation. I bet you guys didn't know that. There was $500 bills, $1,000 bills, and $10,000 bills in wide circulation. This cash was dissolved by the Fed Reserve in the name of fighting organized crime. The same argument is now being made against $50 and $100 bills by Harvard economics professor Kenneth Rogoff. So, but there you go. At the end of the day, am I sharing my screen here? No, I'm not. But here is the article. And I just linked it there in the population of the chat box. Even in the stimulus bill, they were already talking about a digital dollar. And think about it as a centralized blockchain technology where they can see everything that you do. We've been talking about this. And what I said also, a thought that came to me, or a theory I have, is that Bitcoin is a case study on blockchain technology. When it was introduced as an antithesis to the banks, the blah, 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 the whole Satoshi Santa Claus story. And, some people were rich maybe got rich from it, but, maybe they were just testing it all out for ultimately to run a Fed coin. That's something to consider. So the question is, in places where sewage goes into waterways, etc. Cryptozilla is talking about something else. I'm sorry about I lost that thread. Day and Nights, it says, looks like I'll be getting the chip. According to the Bible, you're right, but will you get it? I mean, I'm not saying it is or isn't the mark. I'm looking into it, and it's not being imposed. I mean, it could be something that, is just like the flu vaccine. It's not imposed, but it's something that, it's pushed on everybody. So we don't know. We got to keep an eye on it. We got to keep an eye. I got to hold the 10,000 and 100,000 on a tour of a bank in elementary school. Won't forget that. 1972-ish, says Joey Rage, talking about those large denominations of bills. Sky Operator says, I don't think so, because the mainstream media would have promoted Bitcoin from the beginning. Yeah, but it doesn't, maybe it was, small factions of DARPA or anything. I mean, we don't know. Like, the media wasn't even talking about the Rona lockdowns a few months ago. Just because the media wasn't in on it doesn't mean anything, really. The media, they do whatever they're told to do. I still think Bitcoin was bootleg and not a product of the CIA. I didn't say it was a product of the CIA, but it's clear to me that, if you think that, if you believe the narrative of Bitcoin, that it's just Satoshi and he's trying to save everybody in a rogue element, that's all bullshit. They would have known who he was. I mean, they know where Snowden is. They know where everybody is. Come on. I mean, that's to me, it's clear as day. Satoshi is Santa Claus, guys. They pitch it to you like, here comes this guy with this new technology that's going to save us from the banks. It's like Q, here's this anonymous poster that's leaking information that's going to save us from the deep state. It's all bullshit, guys. But whatever. The price of Bitcoin is looking good. And I don't think it's going to go away. Anyone who wants to be a part of the civilization needs to be traceable. In case a person decides to commit a crime, there will need to be proof, and there also needs to be proof of innocence, says Day and Night. That's an entire long statement that needs to be dissected. There's a whole lot of things there. To be honest, if there was no Bible, the chip is a great advancement for humanity. But the Bible doesn't talk about any chips. You don't know. I mean, you could think of the phone as the mark of the beast. Just correlating a chip to the mark or not. It's like, we don't know. And again, that's a whole nother thing that we could talk about. But some people say yes. I haven't seen any evidence that Satoshi is the government, says Derek, or facts. Well, I'll tell you this. One of the evidences, SHA-256 is a DARPA initiative. SHA-256 algorithm is made by the government. Okay? That's right there. So, he's only building on top of the algorithm that was already there. And I said, that's my opinion. I don't have facts either, so. Day and Night says, yeah, whatever is it that causes you to be able or unable to buy, sell food and goods, right? Well, I mean, you could also say that about Social Security number. You could say that about the Social Security. Now, everybody already has a Social Security. I mean, I told you guys, just look at your birth. You could say that about the birth certificate, right when you register the birth. It's right there. You can't even do anything without a birth certificate or without a passport. You could say that about so many different things. Rafterman says, yeah, SHA-256 was created long before Bitcoin. That's right. That's right there. I think it's DARPA or something similar. Joey Ray says, if government was concerned, they would buy all Bitcoin and fork to control. They're not concerned. It's like, it's $200 billion market, guys. They could buy all the Bitcoin in one day. I mean, how much are they throwing at these repo markets? I mean, look, how many trillions of dollars are these stimulus? I mean, come on. Bitcoin is not a concern to any of these. I mean, come on. It's not, guys. And furthermore, if anything, they like it. There's no fungibility with Bitcoin. It's easier to track Bitcoin than it is to track cash. Commies surely want you chipped, and also they want an off switch. Not signing up for that crap, says CryptoZilla. Yeah, that makes sense. You got Bitcoin there at 71.40. Let me check over here on DLab and see if anybody's dropped me some lemons. Cash Couch dropped me 10 lemons. CryptoZilla dropped me 10. Thank you so much. Fiverr's hitting me up with ads via the Brave browser. And I said this on all my broadcasts. Download the Brave browser. Start earning back tokens. It's one of the easiest ways to earn crypto passively. You get a few bucks a month. And then, I got it both on my desktop and my mobile device. The link's down below. I get $5 if you leave it installed for 30 days, just so we're transparent about things out here. So look out for this digital dollar that's coming soon to a theater near you. And, one could argue that they're just burning down the system so they can introduce a new one. Because, guys, come on, the cost and benefit analysis here to shutting down is like anybody with, that has any reason can see clearly that, this is out of whack, that the numbers here are exaggerated and something's not hitting correctly. There's something funny bunny. They can get DNA reader machines and track that way, but turning my family into chip humans like they little Borgs, nah. Yeah, I mean, that's basically, what so many have said that, the ultimate plan is just chip everybody, track everything. And, this gets even more. I've showed you a couple articles, but they're even talking about contact tracing. Google's already in it, tracing people that have had the virus, or just basically, tracking society, tracking everything, all your movements, having you require a certificate so you can go back to work. Basically, if you don't take the shot, you're not going to go back to work. It's what it seems. It's out of control. Out of control, guys. I hit you up with all those linkages, all those articles, the linkages, those links. Let me repeat them. So when would the coronavirus end the quarantine? We're looking at, I would say I wouldn't be surprised as if, April 30th rolls around And, they come out and they say, guys, we're almost done. Just give us another 15 days and we'll stop the spread or something like that. Or give us another 30. And I knew this, or I suspected this right when they announced the emergency, saying, we'll do 15 days to stop the spread. I'm like, 15 days? Come on, guys. And then they hit us up with another 30. And they're giving it to us in bits and chunks. They weren't going to say on day one, guys, we're going to be locked down for 45 days. People would have panicked. They would have panicked. So they gave you it, in bits and chunks, 2 weeks, and they give you a 30. And like I said, there's a high, I'm not going to say a high probability, but there is a significant probability, or one to look at enough that there's one can believe that we're going to go past April 30th. I'm saying, so it looks like, according to this article, these projections here, estimated date that restrictions will start to be lifted based on the Chinese experience here in the U.S. would be about the 22nd of May, says this figure. In Italy, about the 7th of May, UK about the 23rd, Spain the 18th, France the same, and Germany about the 22nd of May. So, later in May. It's basically, and the estimated date of containment based on the 2003 SARS experience could take the U.S. Lockdown to about the 19th of June, according to these figures. So it's on the table. It's on the table. So that's one article. And again, if you missed that link, I'll share it again here. I just shared it again. And then I talked about these immunity certs. But at the end of this article, it's just talking about, passive stuff, and then they hit you. In short, look at this summary here. In short, a reopening of the economy would likely entail the introduction of a smartphone-based biopassport, where any person who wishes to re-enter society will have to not only undergo some form of daily testing to confirm they are virus-free, but also effectively hand over most of, if not all, their privacy to the government. Think about this. They could easily put this biopassport on a blockchain, and your immunity certs and these things, and your the digital dollar could go in there. It could be all a smart contract, a whole blockchain. Think about it, guys. The blockchain tech lends itself perfectly for this. That's what I'm telling you. That this blockchain tech lock you down on the cell block with chains, guys. Come on. That's why I've been telling you Monero all day long, but you didn't want to listen to the champ. Some people still think Satoshi's out here to save everyone. Next, immunity certs. We talked about this. Are coming. COVID survivors to get special passports enabling return to normalcy. I didn't read this whole entire thing, but it shows the UK Health Secretary looking into immunity certificates, how people who have had the disease have got the antibodies and therefore have immunities can show that, so to get back as much as possible to normal life. And then you see even Bill Gates is talking about that, and Bill Gates is smelling funny bunny with his foundation. It seems to be all involved in this. Eventually, what we'll have to have is a certificate of who's recovered person, who's vaccinated, because you don't want people moving around the world. Well, you'll have some countries that won't have it under control, sadly. So there it is, guys. It's right in your face. I don't know how many times we had to tell you. And then here's COVID-19 being used to scare you away from using cash. Because this biopassport, it's going to have everything. It's going to have the currency. It's going to have your medical records, all your movements. I would guess, again, I don't know for sure, but there's a lot of evidence. 71.45 on the bits. As long as the stock market's green or trading sideways, it's a good thing for the bits. Now, if the stock market goes ahead and takes a hit like it did at the beginning of this Rona crisis, Bitcoin is not as strong as a lot of people thought it was. Okay? And that's just what it is. The only things that it's got going for it right now, it's that, gold, silver physically is running out. So people may be looking at Bitcoin. The stock market is holding up. There's a lot of extra cash that's being thrown out there. We're hoping that it makes its way to the bits. And then, of course, we have that halvening that's coming about 40 days from now. And that's, seems to be a bullish thing. So let's see. Let me check out D Live. Shout out to CryptoZilla sharing those memes. Cash Couches out there. And you can see Jigger Rome says Bill Gates is the face man in all this. His daddy was the director of Planned Parenthood. Yeah, we said this in our last stream. And, what was Planned Parenthood designed for? It's obvious that one can argue that it's a eugenics program, or it was. So it's definitely stinky. It's stinky, guys. It smells like stinky. Okay? Guys, head over there to dlive.tv. Let's do this redistribution of lemons. I want to get some lemons. Boom. dlive.tv/champagne crypto. Let's get it popping. Let me go ahead and drop another 50 in the box here. There's 51 in the treasure chest. I'm going to add another 50. Now we're going to do 100 lemons. Usually we do 50, but now I'm doubling it up. I'm excited. Let's go. I'm about to share here another meme. How dare you? And that fake moon landing. I would say start with the fake moon landing. There's other fakeness there, with flattening the curve. And if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. And I'm not talking about the virus there. Anyhow, start with the moon landing. Once you can understand the fakeness of the moon landing and how the countries collaborate, then you can start to see how there's funny bunny here in front of us. Yeah, but start with that fakeness. New Boomer 96 is here. Shout out to you. Miss Crypto Chick just donated 1 ice cream. Thank you so much, Crypto Chick. Jared Thompson's over there on YouTube. Go to Building 7. I got the meme right here. Building 7 did not kill itself. You got it. You could start with the moon landing, start with Building 7, but there's things that just don't add up, guys. Start somewhere. Crypto Chick's sharing Oprah falling meme. I never trusted Oprah ever. I never trusted her, guys. I don't know I don't know who would have trusted her, but she's faker than fake, in my opinion. New Boomers here. Miss Crypto Chick's here. Guys, share those memes. Let's go ahead and get it popping. 100 lemons are going out to the Boomers over there on DLive. If you're only on YouTube and you don't open up a dlive.tv champagne supporter account, or one to look at some other people out there, then you're funny bunny, because this is blockchain. You got to use alternatives to YouTube. Stop playing games. Become a boomer right now, not age-wise, but Bitcoin kapump-wise. Do it now. Let's distribute these rewards immediately. 30 seconds. Let's do it. Let's go. Seconds. Share your memes. Lucky followers today. Is there no lucky followers? What's going on here? I've never seen this before. Who are the lucky followers? Did no one click claim rewards? Is that the thing? Did no one click claim rewards? If you didn't click on claim rewards, you're not going to be able to get anything. Let me see if I can submit this, or I'm going to have to wait another 10 minutes. Oh, now we got another 50 to the box. No, sorry, this giveaway is too close to your last one. Please wait and try again later. So you guys didn't even click on claim rewards on your end. Says better luck next time. I clicked, says New Boomer. Interesting. Yeah, this is the first time that I've done a giveaway and it just didn't, no one won. That's weird. Okay, we'll wait 5-10 minutes. We'll do another one. CryptoZilla won the last 2 times. Yeah, but we got New Boomer here that said that he clicked claim reward. So maybe, it could have gone to him. Let's give it a few, because you can see here, if I click distribute rewards, let me click this ad real quick. Distribute rewards. Look at my bottom right hand screen. It says, sorry, this giveaway is too close to your last one. Please wait and try again later. So Cash Cow says, didn't show up for me. If you're using the Brave browser, you may have to go into your settings and allow pop-ups from DLive. You know how Brave blocks all the pop-ups? You got to allow pop-ups. And even if you're using Chrome, sometimes you have your settings, customized, and you may have to change them and allow pop-ups from DLive. Let's talk about Bitcoin's equilibrium price is 9,000, says CoinGape. This is according to some analysts here. A renowned Bitcoin analyst is of the view that the coin's equilibrium price is 9,000, and the current trend following the asset's consolidation between 57 and 7,100 is bullish. This is according to data drawn from leading and approved exchanges, says the article. Let me link this over here on the chat box so you guys can follow if you like. In his view, and concluding from market data, he observes that Bitcoin is currently undervalued by around 2,000, and the market's specified neutral price is about 9,000. And, that makes sense. I mean, that's kind of where we were at before we got hit by this, Rona scare. So, it seems reasonable. This is roughly 3 weeks after a market-wide capitulation that saw over 2 billion liquidations. You can see over here Bitcoin Jack talking about it. The liquidations over there on BitMEX. You could keep reading. But yeah, I tend to agree that this is all contingent on obviously the stocks. I mean, because if the Fed fails to continue firing bazookas and we have a day that the S&P falls 10% or something, that would trigger something like it did before, and I would expect it to impact the price of everything again. So we're in the clear just as long as the stocks are in the clear. And look at this. S&P and the Dow's up 5%. Bitcoin is up 5.4%. So, I mean, it's very strongly correlated. I'm not sure if I showed you the chart that actually charted the direct correlation between Bitcoin and the legacy markets. I think it's sitting at like 0.58 or maybe even higher now since the beginning of the year. So, more than half of the time now in all of 2020, Bitcoin is behaving just like the stock market. Now, that wasn't always true before, but it is true right now, apparently. And remember, well, if anything we've learned here, you trade what you have in front of you, not what you had 5 weeks ago or 10 weeks ahead from now. What do we have right now? All these assets are correlated. This is a stock and asset pickers market. I agree with Derek. I do. That's what I've been saying. Right? These are directly, and I don't know if I shared I came across a whole graph showing the different correlations between Bitcoin, gold, Bitcoin with the stock market. And I remember the number being like 0.58 or even higher. Direct correlation between legacy markets and Bitcoin this year. I'm not talking about 5 years ago, obviously. And CryptoZilla sharing this article here that says the South Korea Central Bank is about to test crypto yuan. And this is they're not the only one I've seen. This is a common thread that I'm seeing. A lot of countries are. I think the euro is considering it, and it's what's coming soon to a theater near you guys. It's obvious if you haven't seen it. So what I would expect now for the short and midterm is further consolidation into the U.S. dollar. These smaller economies. These smaller currency are going to get wrecked out there. You're going to see a lot of capital fleeing more to the U.S. dollar as it did when the market started moving down. And, I can see more of a consolidation. There's going to be less currencies, okay? And more of them are going to consolidate into USD. And ultimately, there's going to be only a few. And, their game is to do a monopoly and make one. But, you got to consolidate before you just, wipe out all the currencies, obviously. Johnson's back. I see you. Bitcoin is blasting. Looking good there. 71.90, almost 72. So it's looking great. Everything's looking good today on the stocks. On the 10 years up almost 10%, 8.5%. So that's definitely stock bullish. That's bullish. You even got Carnival's up. I mean, Carnival's probably not going to take a cruise for another year, and they're up 21%. So, everything's on the green today. It's looking good. Green, 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 green. And, you know how I feel. When it's green, take a little profit because you're in a certain highly volatile market. That's my opinion. But our targets here, I would say, is around 8,000. Let's see if we can touch 8,000 here as we approach this halvening. And if we get really lucky, maybe even 9. Chances of going back to 10 are slim to none right now. I'm going to be honest with you. But right now, I say we're back in the green. And let's see. Let's see where we can go. And again, this is all contingent and correlated to the stocks, guys. Where's gold at? Let's look at the gold futures. Up as well, 1689. Look, gold's over is around 16, 15. It's doing good. It's almost 17. You talk about a store of value. And there you go. See if there's any sexy headlines over there on the WSJ. U.S. braces for pivotal week as death toll mounts, yet the futures are up. Global stocks rally, oil falls amid volatility. Oil rallied, so it goes up, it goes down. That's why you got to take profits quickly. In my opinion, I got to keep saying my opinion because you know how it goes. Survivors of coronavirus facing uncertain road. Okay, we read that. Big restaurant, hotel chains won exemption to get small business loans. Okay. CVS to offer drive-through test at 2 stores. Okay. Nothing really sticking out here. I'll take a few more questions. Rafterman said, how's the virtual portfolio looking? Yeah, let's check it out. I'll show you guys. Let's see if it's outperforming the bits. That's the name of the game there. That's the reason we created that portfolio, that altcoin portfolio, to see if we can knock out the bits out the water. And so far, we're doing all right. You can see here that we're at 8,096, so almost at 81. And we haven't done any trades. I like the tokens in our bag. I like Binance. I like Crypto.com coin, FTX, Kyber, Monero, and Tezos. It seems like, look, Monero is the number 1 performer this past week, 22%. And then Binance is up 17%. So, we got some good hitters. I don't see us changing this bag. And, let me know if you have any opinions. But right now, the baggie looks all right. I like these tokens. And look, the slim gainer here is Kyber Network. It's only gained about 1% this week. And all these other coins are up over 10%. Johnson says, I think halving will really bull Bitcoin. Let's see. Right now, so far we're bullish. And definitely it's a positive event that we're looking forward to. What I want to know is what's going to happen after this halving. What events are people going to be waiting for? What's going to be the reason to hold the bids? Let me know. May we see a little dump after, a little pump before the halving? Maybe take some profits, buy back in. I don't know. But definitely, I'm going to take a little bit off the top there. I've been hodling for years. And if I see a little bit of greenery as we approach closer to 10, I may take a little profit off the bag and see, and maybe wait and take another stab at it if it goes down after the halving. But I will be keeping a Bitcoin or more under the pillow, regardless. So we got immunity certs, bio passports, cashless society. The Rona has changed things, guys. The Rona has changed things. I did a video this morning on my morning walk/jog. I forgot to upload it. But I was thinking to myself, I should push more than a video a day. Maybe do a little video outside or something that's not a live stream. And I did the video and I was going to upload it. The phone ran out of battery. I was thinking to myself, maybe I should get up early to start doing a video. Let me know if you're interested in that. And most guys would say probably yes. Keep giving them more content. Let's check out the D-Lab and see if we can do a distribution of rewards now. Guys, head over there and click claim rewards for me. I'm about to, let's try it. Distribute rewards to see if it works. Boom, let's go. 30 seconds, guys. New Boomer hit him hard today. New Boomer got 76 lemons. We got CryptoZilla got 44. And we got Cash Couch got 32. So shout out to you. 3. And I would have expected Miss Crypto Chick to get one there too, but maybe next time. CryptoZilla just donated 4 ice creams. Thank you so much, CryptoZilla. Boom. Our sniper out of Tokyo, out of Japan out there, staying strong. I want to go to Japan one day. I want to go to Japan. It seems like a nice country. You know, I like the attitude of the Japanese. You know, from what I've seen, I don't know. I mean, like it could be all like, you know, media wise, but it seems like, you know, they respect the elderly. They got a good culture out there. You know, when I was a young gunner, I used to do a lot of judo, so they exposed me a little bit to some of the Japanese culture, I guess. You know, I don't know how much or not, but always made me want to go out there and check out Japan. Shout out to New Boomer, Miss Crypto Chick, ice cream for the little babies. CryptoZilla says very proper and clean. You're talking about Japan? Yeah, I like that. It seems like, you know, there's a good culture of respect out there, and, you know, there's some discipline, you know. It seems that's what I get out of that. That's the better word to describe it. Discipline. It seems like a disciplined culture because, you know, in the West, discipline is not really, you know, it's about profit. They don't care about discipline. Judo looks cool, says Derek. Yeah, I mean, when I was a young gunner, I did a lot of judo, competed or whatnot. Judo's a lot like wrestling. CryptoZilla says you can walk at night by yourself in dark alleys. Okay, good. That's good. Why you would want to be walking at night by yourself in dark alleys is a whole nother question, but it's nice to know that it's safe. What if democracy is not the best? The masses are sheep. They can't think for themselves nor make smart decisions. Well, that's why we have an electoral college, and the United States is not a democracy, but a representative republic. It's a republic. It's not, you know, direct democracy. It's not, you know, you could still win without the popular vote, and that there's a reason for that. CryptoZilla says most places in the world that's a pretty scary thing to do. I don't know if it's most places, but there's definitely some places in the world that you can't do that. But, you know, I think to a certain extent, the world may be safer than you think, you know, or people may be nicer than you think sometimes, you know. If you see a lot of those people that, you know, travel a lot, they don't run into as many problems as one would expect. But yeah, I know what you mean. You know, there's some places you don't, and yeah, highly populated cities, sometimes you don't want to be walking around in dark places. Yeah, maybe one day we'll push it out to Japan and Kapump and do a stream out there. 25 million in Tokyo. Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, I remember someone that I know when I was living up there in New York told me that they went to, it wasn't Tokyo, it was another city. I don't know which, another super populated city. And when they came back, they were like, oh man, it makes New York look like not populated. And New York is very populated, you know, but it doesn't have 25 million. So it seems to me like it's very populated out there. But I wouldn't want so much of the city life, you know. It seems like there could be, you know, nice country landscapes out there. It looks like, you know, the mountains and stuff are nice out there as well. So maybe there's good, you know, outdoor life. And Mexico City is very populated as well, yeah. Some news says 2 American banks failed since coronavirus started spreading, says Joey. I haven't seen the headlines, but maybe. Me and my wife want to go visit Japan soon. Her sister's husband has family there in Tokyo, says New Boomer. Yeah, hopefully people could travel, but it seems like you're gonna need a bio passport or the chip. Who knows? Who knows before we could travel again? You know, it seems like the whole world's been locked down, Hunger Games style. What district are you in? There's a lot of beautiful scenery from what I've heard. Yeah, from what I've heard and from what I've seen, but I don't know. How are things out there by where they had that nuclear reactor meltdown, Fukushima? I forgot how to say it, but how are things around that neck of the woods? Have they recovered? How's it looking out there? Is there radiation everywhere? People dying, or is it just a bunch of hype? We stopped hearing about that. I do think passengers will need to be tested at entry to most countries in the future. Oh yeah, I think that a lot of the stuff we shared today, we're gonna see. Maybe not all of it, and eventually, it doesn't all happen at once, but it's rolling out. We're gonna see a lot of changes out here, guys. For those that think we're just gonna be 1, 2, 3 unicorns and rainbows right back to how life used to be, I doubt it. Another thing I might start doing, or I've been wanting to start doing, is taking clips out of these live streams and making other videos, because some people don't have time to do an hour live stream, and we talk about all kinds of different things on these streams, so it's like you can make different clips from them. It's just that also takes time. And if you're interested in doing that, let me know. I heard there's still radiation there, says New Boomer. Zilla says it's just like in Ukraine, a certain area around the plant is not livable. It won't ever be, even for my kids. But how big is the area that's livable? Because I know and there's places in Chernobyl that is, the wildlife is back, and there's life. But yeah, if you're listening, if you got time or anything, and I encourage you guys, take clips from these videos and re-upload them, or send them back to me and I'll re-upload them, or let's try to push more content from the champ out there, however it could be, because I feel like we could pull more than one video a day. And like I said, I started making a video this morning. I couldn't upload it because my phone died, and then I just went straight to the desktop. But yeah, it's my intent here is like I'm pushing a video a day, but the work here, I could be more fruitful. I could pull more than one video out of this 1 hour of streaming that we do. Joey says they say housing will get hit hard again. Yeah, I would expect it. I mean, listen, if people are unemployed and they can't pay the bills, eventually people are going to start defaulting on their rent and their mortgages, and so people can't pay the rent, and then the housing's going to get hit. The landlords are going to get hit too. If they're not going to collect rent, they're going to get hit as well. So there's going to be a trickle effect, a domino effect that's already started, and hopefully it's not as bad as it could get. That's all we got to say. But yeah, I see this as a trickle effect, and we're going to see effects for years to come. This is going to take a while to rebound. You can't see radiation, so it looks green, and buildings getting overgrown, just like Chernobyl. I think a 30 kilometer area. Okay, thanks for letting me know. Derek says, I hope housing gets hit hard, just like he hopes Bitcoin gets hit hard. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking for a dip, dive, and a slide in housing, on real estate. Retail real estate investment trusts have been hit hard. Yeah, they have been. Everything's been hit. I mean, it's obvious. But I'm looking for those openings right now. Cash is king. You have to have some dry powder, some in the chamber. You got to have some ammo. And those that have no debt and they have cash are the ones that are going to be able to make gains during this depression or recession, however you want to call it. CryptoZilla sharing a link there to the nuclear exclusion zone. If you guys want to read about that, maybe I'll check that out after the broadcast. Yeah, but it's been a while since I heard about that zone or whatnot. And just wanted to see what's going on out there. Oh, this shows pictures? Let me see. So this is Fukushima zone. So that town is abandoned? Like, you know, that Okuma town or whatever this little area is? Yeah, many are still unable to return home after 7 years. Yeah. Yeah, it was devastating. From what I heard, I don't know. From what I heard and what I see here in these pictures, don't seem. But what's odd to me is that, you know, you still have greenery and you still got life teeming. So, what's up? Humans can't live next to the green plants. What's going on? Green plants are not impacted by radiation, or the debt was created to never be paid off, says Rafterman. Well, I mean, it's obvious you can never pay off the debt because there's not enough cash. There's more debt than there is cash. So even if you paid everything off perfectly and use all the money, you still won't have enough money to pay all the debt because the debt is greater than the cash, the circulating supply. So that's real simple to get. Most people don't even think about that. Some plants can live in radiated places, says Cryptozilla. Yeah, I think that that's something we got to look into, that radiation and stuff, because that there seems to be some holes in that storyline as well. But again, I don't know. I haven't looked enough into it. Let's see if we can hit 9K. I'll be really happy if we hit 9K, guys. I'll tell you that much. It was all good just a few weeks ago, right? Dow Jones rises 1,100 points. S&P rises 5%. On that note, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and catch some lunch. I think wifey's cooking something. So I'm going to go ahead and enjoy that. I shared all the links. And make sure that you have cash on hand because, you know, the markets, if they take a dip dive in a slide, or, you know, you may be able to grab what you're looking for, you know. So keep an eye out. You know how it is, guys. Keep an eye out. Cash Couch says more cash is needed. That seems to be true all the time. All right, guys. Shout out to everybody on D Live. Thank you so much to Cryptozilla for the 50 lemons. Thank you so much to New Boomer for the 30 and Cash Couch for the 28 lemons. We always do a redistribution of lemons on all our live broadcasts here on DLive.tv. I'm restream with multistream.io. You know, if you're interested in using it, I got a link down below as well. I got a link down below for the Brave browser. I get $5 if you leave it installed for 30 days. It blocks ads. It allows you to earn BAT tokens. I use it in every broadcast. I think you should too. And what else do I got there? That's about it. BAT, DLive, Restream.io. Rafterman sent me 2 super chats. You did? I didn't see them. Rafterman, thank you. I saw you come into the box, but I didn't see the super chats. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. Let me see if I can scroll up and see them. Can I see a super chat? Do I see a super chat from Rafterman? Did it come through? No. Not on this chat box. Maybe it didn't come into my... let me see my other YouTube. Well, not my other YouTube. My YouTube dashboard instead of this Restream dashboard. YouTube, my YouTube dashboard instead. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it come in. I lost it out there. I'll take your word for it. I'm scrolling around here and I don't see it. It's just kind of weird. I usually see them all pop up. But there it is. Rafterman, $2. Keep safe out there. Vitamin C and D. Okay, I got it. I got that one. Shout out to you. Yeah, I was about to say I didn't see that one. Thank you for the $2 and more than anything. Welcome back. I know you had a problem with your phone out there. You got robbed, and seems like you had a hiccup there for a second. But you're back online, and I'm glad to see you back here, Rafterman. Thank you for the gratuity, and thank you for being back. It said I paid it. I got the receipt. Yeah, no, I saw it. I saw it. It was just got lost there in all the comments. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. We got Zilla here, Rafterman, Derek. Who else is in the box? New Boomer, and the rest of the boomers out there. Thank you so much, guys. I'm going to go ahead and get some lunch and enjoy my day. 7160 on the bits is looking great. Green on all the fronts, except oil. Oil finally, selling off, but I would expect that. If things hit green, people take some profits, and they wait again till, we're in a market that seems to be very volatile, and moves are being made in the short term here. Long-term hodls here are cash and gold, and for those that really like the cryptos, those as well. On that note, I'm out of here, guys. Check out all the articles that I sent, and let's be patient. That's all I got to say. Let's be patient out there. Thank you to New Boomer. I saw you donated 20. Thank you so much. It's the voice of the blockchain here, Satoshi's big cousin, cryptography's finest. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Stay strong out there. Kaboom. Thanks for tuning in.